value bars are like jail, and when it breaks out, it turns into a positive. So today, we're not going to be talking too much more about that, but what we're going to be doing is we're going to be solving absolute value equations. So, journal's out. Okay, so title it absolute value equations. Absolute value equations always have two solutions. Always. They always have two solutions. Okay? So, Dre, how many solutions do absolute value equations have? Two. Okay? Matthew, how many solutions do absolute value equations have? Two. Mallory, how many solutions do absolute value equations have? Easton, how many solutions do absolute value equations have? Okay, good. So, there's two solutions to every absolute value equation. Now, here's an absolute value equation. We have the absolute value of x equals 6. So, in order to get two solutions, you have to have two different equations, right? Now, the first equation you're always going to get is exactly how it is written above. So, it's just x equals 6. The second equation is what's inside of the absolute value, we keep it underneath there. So if there was a bunch of stuff inside of the absolute value, you just keep it there. So this case right here, it's just x. And then you change whatever the absolute value is to a negative. So whatever the absolute value is set equal to, you change it to a negative. And in that case right there, those are our two solutions. Now, how is that possible? How is it? What is the definition of absolute value? It's the distance from what?
0.
Yeah. But it's not just the distance from 0 this way. It's the distance from 0 that way, too. Okay? So that's why there has to be two different solutions. So if I have another one, let's say we had, there we go. Okay, if I had the absolute value of v equals 3, my one equation would be v equals 3 and v equals negative 3. Okay, any questions on that so far? All right. Ready? Okay. What about if we had this? The absolute value of 6u minus 18 equals 6. Okay, so you're going to write out two different equations, right? Because in order to have two different solutions, you have to have two different equations. The first solution, you're going to write it the exact same way it looks above. The only difference is you're just going to remove the absolute value signs. The second equation you're going to write is, notice here, what's inside of the absolute value is the exact same, but we're going to set it equal to what? Negative 6. Okay? All you guys go through and solve both of those equations. Go. Solve them, Daxton. Don't sit there. Solve both of those equations. Because remember, we're going to have one equation and another equation, right? This equation's the exact same. This equation, because we removed the absolute value, we're going to also put a -6 right there to better get both different answers. Solve both of those equations. Let's go. Dre, Tanner, come on. Okay, I'm going to solve them. So we're going to add 18 over here. We're going to solve this equation first. We solved the equation separately. For some reason, I've had people try to solve them together. Don't do that. It's two separate equations. Okay? So we're going to add 18 over here. We're going to divide by 6, so u is going to equal 4. So that's one solution. U equals 4. Over here, we're going to add 18, and we're going to have 6u equals negative, or 6u equals 12. Divide by 6, so u equals 2. Okay? Who got that right? Raise your hand. Good. Okay, I'm going to have you guys try this one all on your own. 5w plus 10, those are absolute values, equals 15. Go. Try that one on your own. See who can get it. See if everyone can get it. Good, how do I do it? So let's do this one first. Subtract 10 from both sides. So 5w equals 5. Then? Okay. Let's then w equals 1 here. Good. What about over here? Okay. So 5w equals negative 25. So w equals what? Okay, who got that right? Raise your hand. Okay, good. All right, so now we're going to get a little bit tougher, but actually it's a lot easier. If we have the absolute value of x plus 7 equals 15. Now, I know what you're saying, well, this is easy. All we're going to do is just say x plus 7 equals 15, x plus 7 equals negative 15. That's wrong. Okay, in order to do these, before you can set the two equations, make the two equations, you have to get the absolute value alone. So notice up here, the absolute value is alone, right? It's the only thing on this side of the equation, the absolute value. There's nothing else here. There's nothing else here. The absolute value is alone. So here, the absolute value is not alone. So yes, Dre, what would you do? We're going to... No, because after this, so the first thing we have to do is subtract 7, which then leaves us the absolute value of x equals 8. Now at that point, is the absolute value alone? If it is, you're going to go x equals 8 and x equals negative 8. Okay? So it doesn't matter which one it is. So, but as of right now, that's it. I think you guys can do the rest.